Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission.
What leads to this passion for you that you're like, man, you just said, I really want to know the Lord and I want to make him known?
Right. I don't know. I feel like it's just, like I said, I guess it was around the time I read Francis Chan's book, is also growing up in, I was raised a Christian and things like that. It's not that anybody did anything wrong, but it's that things become, I guess, like cliché.
Sure. Yeah.
Jesus loves you and there's grace and all of these things that I've heard my entire life. And then none of it's real. It's kind of up there in the clouds, I guess. And then there's a series of events where it really it clicked. And I sort of realized, like, God's love is real and his grace is real. And all these things are actually real. And how can you not, when you've really experienced it, even people who, like, I know, like, I have friends and things like that, and we talk about it. But even then, I'm like, have we really experienced it?
Yeah.
And in like the way that God can give it to us and the way he like so freely wants to. And so like when you experience it that way, I don't think there's a way that you can't just like sit.
It's inevitable.
Exactly.
Natural.
That's what like sharing and things like that flows out of just being filled.
Yes,
like that, which is, it's crazy.
It always reminds me, I think I say it too much on this podcast, but I love this quote by George MacDonald. C.S. Lewis referred to him as his master. He said, "Man finds it hard to get what he wants because he would not want the best. God finds it hard to give to man because he would give him the best, but man does not want it." So it's a total disconnect in the heavenlies. Let's say there's a young person watching right now. They're like in your shoes. They grew up in a Christian home. It's all good. They're going to church. Life is. But what's your encouragement to them? Saying, okay, I've seen a bigger world. Maybe they won't travel overseas. Maybe they will. Hashtag the GlobalU. Right?
Yeah.
But what would your encouragement? How do they see a bigger picture? First steps.
Right. I think it's, like I said, I feel like it's hard to experience the freedom and the grace of God until you need it. Right. And so, I mean, obviously I think there be a time in everyone's life when you realize that you need, you can't do it by yourself.
Yes,
but also that, it's crazy to see out here how these things that we hear about in the Bible of gifts and all of these, the fruit of the Spirit and all of these things, they're so tangible and they're not just like a sermon topic, which I think they're reduced to sometimes. Like, they're so tangible, and if you not put them to the test, but they're there.
Put them to the test.
But if you put them to the test, right? Like if you do go pray for somebody, like the Lord is faithful, and stepping out in that will be rewarded, I think.
Rewarded, but it sounds
in a really powerful
terrifying.
Way. Exactly. So I think that's the barrier that you just have to get over. But
yourself,
when you still every day, right?
Yeah.
But I think when you do that, and obviously too, like I just talk to my leaders every single day about just like the barriers that we face every single day, and like still struggle with it all the time. But it's like, I don't know, the Lord's there to fill me. So right, and I think most people, anybody will say that.
And I think what you're describing is like the whole history of the church and missions in general. I was just reading I've been reading a lot of Hudson Taylor quotes lately. So I wrote, he's one of the guides in The Mind of a Missionary, the book that I wrote. And I actually just started this Twitter account called Hudson Taylor Daily because his quotes are just unbelievable. And he's talking a lot about himself being so normal, so ordinary, asking forgiveness for how ordinary he is. Right. He's not going to be able to do anything. He's so weak, he can't read his Bible. This is Hudson Taylor we're talking about. In retrospect, we know him as the founder of China Inland Mission, transformed the missions world, opened China to the gospel. And I think he just saw himself as that misfit, that unassuming misfit. Is that who God is going to use?
I mean, if you look through the Bible, I think that's really who it is. I think is like myself too. I'm not special in any way. Like I said, I've never left the country and things like that, and even leaving the country doesn't qualify me anymore. But it was just, I think when you say yes to the Lord, when he asks you to do things, like when he will present opportunities to you, and when you say yes to it, is what will make the ordinary extraordinary. And it's not me and it's not you, but it's what the Lord does in you.
Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission. This podcast is powered by Within Reach Global. Subscribe, watch, and listen on YouTube today. Visit missionspulse.com.